like life and death, moon and sun, it's sure to each the piper comes. And while God and Goddess give for free, down below there will be fees. Despite perfect love and perfect trust, there's no way around it. Cash is a must. We've sought within, but come up short. So we come to thee, your help to court. If you would aid this temple's life, a $3 donation would be nice. Remember well that gifts when sent return threefold of what was spent. But if you can't, well, blessed be. We shall survive, so mote it be.
Merry meet YouTube, and welcome to week 13 of Wicca, a year and a day in Magic. This week I'll be showing you how to set up your altar and different things you could do with your altar, and even what you can put your altar on. Alright, so where do you get started with your altar? Well, first you want to have some representation of the goddesses or gods that you worship. Now you can either print these out from offline, or you can even have a book open, a picture of the god and goddess that you wish to worship, and have it kind of propped open even. I've done that before when I haven't had a statue. But let's start off with the goddess. And then our statue of the god. Now the goddess's side on your altar traditionally is on the left, and the god's side is on the right. And now we will start setting up the different directional candles and our altar tools. Now, during the previous few weeks, we've learned about the 4 elements: earth, air, water, and fire. Now let's set up our directional candles. We'll start with air in the east, and then fire in the south, water in the west, and earth in the north. It's not quite as... There we go. Symmetry. Now let's continue with setting up your altar. Now, in addition, with your goddess and god statue, or your printout of a picture of your goddess and god, you will also want to have candles for them. Now here is my god candle right here. I have a very nice representation of the horned god here. I was lucky enough to find one of these at a second-hand store, and I'll speak about that in a moment. What to do with things that you find in a second-hand store that you want to use in your ritual supplies. And then, of course, we want to have our goddess candle. So let me put down the holder here. Put the candle here. Now these candles can be any size you want, and that also pertains to your directional candles. Now some traditions use these and some do not. And other traditions, you have your candles spread out in the different directions if you want to have a larger circle. And then in other traditions, you draw your circle with your cord. But more on that in future weeks. So we'll just go with this as a basis. But, as I was saying, you can use any size candles that you want to. And you don't have to find these statues. You can find them online. They're pretty nifty. They have little tea light candle holders here. And you want to choose colors for your goddess and god candles that pertain to the god and the goddess. See, I have orange here. And why I chose orange is because it's near Mabon right now as I'm filming this. And then for the goddess, I have a snow white colored candle. Now let's continue with air. Now what do we put in the east? Remember from the week of air, what did we learn about? It could either be the wand or the athame, depending on your tradition. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the wand in the south, and then the athame in the east. And then also, Another tool of air, or rather a symbol, is your incense burner. Now you can have a censer, a cone burner, or this is a plain old stick incense burner. Now another word about altar safety. You want to make sure that your altar is not made out of any flammable material. You do not want to have any polyester or velvet on your altars, because if ashes hit it, or if you're burning any herbs in your cauldron, or if a candle just gets too hot, you can really have a big problem on your hand right there. Alright, now let's continue. We've got our wand in the south. Now let's move into the west. And the chalice, symbol of water, we place it in the west. And by the way, if you choose to use altar candles like these and have them placed around your circle, you always want to have your symbol on your altar of the element of fire in the south. So you can have 2 fire candles, quite literally. And some traditions do that and some don't. And then, now that I'm done talking about that, we want to set up our fireproof dish here and put our nice chalice on top so we don't burn through. Remember I told you last week about the bookcase? Well, this is a bookcase I burned, and now I have to have a altar cloth on it all the time because it looks ugly. Alright, now we move into the element of earth. Now remember, the symbol of the element of earth is salt. And then our pentacle. Oh my goodness. My wand just fell. Alright, now that I made myself out to look like a big spaz by dropping the wand by putting the pentacle on, let's move on. So I want to talk to you about where to put your altar. Now this altar is currently facing north, and that's your default position you want your altar to be at when you're not practicing ritual. Now you can use a bookcase and still cast a circle, as in using your bookcase as your altar. Or, if you have enough space, you can have a table that you can move around, you know, in the middle of the room, put your altar supplies on that, and cast your circle around the table. You know, still having the elements in their respective places and facing the right direction and all that. But for most, our ritual space is kind of taken up by other mundane things like the couch or TV. Alright, but let me show you an option that you might have. Now, I'm going to show you this altar. Now you can see I got a nice tablecloth over it, but this is portable, and this you can find just about anywhere. This is a TV dinner tray. You can fold it up and take it anywhere with you. It's portable, and it's awesome. And I've seen many other traditions use TV dinner trays as their directional altars when they're having bigger rituals. I've seen more than a few covens do it, so I know it's pretty common. And it's a really good idea if you're low on space, or you live in an apartment with other people, and you kind of want to keep your practice a little bit of a secret. You could hide this table and hide all your altar supplies, and then it's easy cleanup. And then also another word about why it's a good idea to have a dismantleable altar is if you have cats. If you have cats, your altar will be visited by them, and they will knock stuff over. And you also want to make sure while you're practicing magic or ritual that you have your cats, the ones that are curious enough to want to walk on the altar, away from it, because more than likely you will have your cauldron burning, and then candles burning. It's not a safe environment for your little cat friend. But, yeah, most of the time, my cats are at my feet when I'm practicing, or you know, doing any ritual or doing any magic. They are always at my feet. But we'll speak more about the magic of cats and circles later. Alright, and now on to how to decorate your altar for the different seasons. Now, I'll be explaining more about this week, but since it is Mabon, almost, I want to show you what you can do. You could buy a nice symbol of the Sabbath that you're about to celebrate. I've got here Happy Harvest, and it's a pumpkin gourd. It's an oddly shaped pumpkin. I think it's a gourd. And you could put it anywhere on your altar. Of course, you want to make sure that it is fireproof, or at least it's not going to catch fire, but you place it next to a candle. I can't stress fire safety enough when it comes to your altars. Alright, well that concludes this week of Wicca, A Year and a Day in Magic, and next week, week 14, how to set up your altar for different Sabbaths. Now until next time, blessed be.